and then to screen share as well, if you don't mind. So I can put up our contact information at the end.
My poor cat is like, you've been ignoring me all day, and now you have a Zoom call? Are you serious?
Oh my God, what a sweetie.
This is Luna. I call her Luna the lunatic.
Yeah.
She's so cute.
It's my divorce cat.
Oh.
Yeah, I got her when I got divorced. I was lonely, so I was like, I mean, what do? You get a cat, right?
They're always happy to see you when you get home.
Yeah, definitely easier than a husband.
Well, I'll be celebrating my 24th anniversary next week.
Oh my God, bless you guys. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Marriage is, it's a true commitment. So that's wonderful that you guys, that's wonderful.
Yes. And 3 kids.
Oh, that's not, so you're going to do anything fun to celebrate?
I can't do too much because I can't really go anywhere because I just finished chemo a month ago.
Ah, okay.
So we'll see if we can find something where I'm not exposed to too many people.
Yep. Well, you could definitely have something really great for dinner. You can start there, right?
Yep.
Light some candles, set the mood.
I'm finally allowed to have a glass of wine, so.
There you go. Well, that's a good time to have it. Have an anniversary toast.
Yep.
You guys.
Hey Trish, hi Christina.
Hi.
Hey Trish, hi Christina.
Hi. How is everybody?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm good.
I love your earrings. Those are super cool.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Sonya, did you make your head wrap?
Yeah, this is one of the ones from my company. One of the original ones that I made. So
I love it. It's gorgeous. It looks like it's hand painted. It's gorgeous.
It's really
there's
pretty.
There's some like hibiscus flowers, some peacock feathers, the whole gamut.
Beautiful.
All of the ones that I've made that are now part of StyleEsteem Wardrobe, they all have like a name that's kind of a empowering, kind of a fun name. And so this one is called Unleashing My Inner Peacock. So something for all of us while we're, wanting to find that peacock within us.
I like that. It's very sassy, Sonya.
You know me. Maybe we can wait a couple more minutes and then we can get started.
Sure. Where's everyone from? Jennifer, where are you from?
Me?
Yeah.
Hi. I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, we're in Jersey.
I'm in Flemington, New Jersey.
Oh, you're also Flemington.
Yeah.
Yeah, because is it Lisa? You said you're from Flemington. Who else was? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah.
Flemington's in the house. Check it.
Flemington's in the house.
Do you guys know each other?
I'm Dr. Jen.
Dr. Jen, the doctor, yep.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, yep. Hello.
Nice
Sorry.
to meet you. A lot of these ladies are from my practice.
Awesome.
Where are you from, Melissa?
I'm in Bergen County.
Where? That's where I grew up.
Oh, yeah, where?
Upper Saddle River.
Oh, okay. I'm from Wycliffe Lake. I went to Pascack Hills High School.
Oh, you're right there.
Oh my God, how funny.
Pascack Hills High School?
Yeah.
Oh, we were on Lake Street.
Oh, okay.
Right down the road.
So funny. Small world.
Small world. Lisa, where are you from?
Westchester?
Nice to see you.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, Christina.
Hey.
Is
So I guess
Melissa
Christina's
coming
from
on?
Flemington also, right?
Hmm?
Is Chris? Sorry, go ahead.
Christina, are you from Flemington as well?
I'm from Annandale, but I'm like 15 minutes out of Flemington.
Awesome.
Yep.
Oh, I used to live in Annandale.
Oh, nice.
A small world.
Small world.
Is Melissa coming on, Sonia?
Sorry. Oh,
Is
Melissa. Melissa is your the person who went to the high school where you grew up.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't recognize you with your glasses on.
Oh, sorry. And my hair is in a ponytail.
There you are.
I have a different look every day. This is my, it's a little humid outside.
There you are.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off. It's like my disguise. So people
It was a disguise. Nice to
Where's
meet you.
Cancer Fashionista? Who is this girl that keeps asking me where I'm from?
You're from Bergen County.
Yeah.
Aw. Right there. Right there. I keep getting dings right now, Sonia. People keep. So let's maybe 3 more minutes.
Sure, we can wait till like 7:40.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
How's everybody's week?
Good.
This week felt like a long year to me.
How come?
I don't know. It felt like Mercury retrograde, like all miscommunications and people missing things, and it's a long week. Long week.
Sounds
At
like
least it's almost
it sounds like every day to me.
I know, right?
Lately.
I always have anxiety Thursday nights because I get chemo Friday. So good distraction and a good topic for sure.
That's what we like to do because like I always say when I never had a big sister growing up, and I felt like when I was going through treatment, like I need like my big sister to tell me, like someone that's gone through it. So anything you want to ask us, especially now while we're waiting about anything, that's what it's about.
How long ago did you have your treatment?
I'm 7 years out. I had triple negative breast cancer.
I'm triple positive. So I just started the Herceptin Progetta with my Taxol. I did AC first.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm on I still do this, like as if I'm tucking my hair behind my.
Oh my God, I remember I did the same thing. Yep.
And sometimes I'll still, like when I start to do yoga, I'll go to put my hair in a ponytail, you know?
Yep.
Are you all able to see the slide with our contact information?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything else on the screen, or just that?
I see us on the side.
Yep. Our faces are on the side.
Okay, perfect. I can never tell if I'm sharing too much or too little. Ironic metaphor for life as well. Hey, Alexia. Well, I know we have a number of people who RSVP'd. I think we can let them trickle in. I don't want to necessarily like delay everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get started. So I think many of you were here last week, and this is a first-time series that we're doing, hosting you guys and talking about the different sort of phases of hair loss, because my theory is that hair loss is so much more than when your hair is falling out. It's everything from when you get diagnosed and you find out you'll be going through chemo and losing your hair, to all the way to getting your hair back and learning to find your confidence and self-love in that new hair. And so a little bit about me is that I'm a young breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed at age 29. And my main resources were my doctors, because I really didn't know any other survivors at that point. And there was a lot of information that I found about a lot of the medical aspects of what I was going through, but there were certain things that were very much challenging to me that I couldn't find good information on. And that one of those things was hair and hair loss. And so that's why I wanted to sort of have this space for all of us to talk. And it's important to remember, especially for today's topic of thriving through hair loss during treatment. It's really important how you treat yourself and how you approach your life during that phase where you are in the middle of that hair loss. Because for me personally, I went through this kind of a weird identity thing where I bought this like really cool blonde wig, and I thought, hey, if I'm gonna do this, I might as well like be glammed up and like kind of like be glammed or be damned attitude. And it turned out like that only got me so far. When I realized I started having issues with my hair loss side effects and just not feeling like the wig was true to who I am. And that eventually led to me just visiting a fabric shop next to my infusion center, where I actually bought fabrics each time I went for chemo, and I started to sew head wraps. And the joy that brought into my life, I realized I wanted to share it with other women. And that led to me becoming an entrepreneur, but also wanting to create these resources within our communities. So whatever that looks like for you, just that self-care process through hair loss, it can be caring for yourself, it can be creating something for yourself, it can be anything you want it to be. But just having that support, I think, is the first step to thriving. And so that's what the goal is here today. So thank you everyone for coming. I'm gonna let Dr. Jen briefly introduce herself, and then we'll introduce our guest speaker, Melissa from Cancer Fashionista.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to see you again. I'm so glad so many of you came back. I'm Dr. Jen Montes. I am a breast cancer surgeon. I practice out of Hunterdon Medical Center in Flemington. And I founded Evolve Pink. We launched in March as a means to work and to introduce women to a variety of holistic modalities to incorporate into their healing journey. Many times, it was always my dream to treat women with breast cancer. And I really, in the naivety of my training, thought that the day I told my patient, okay, we've done your surgery, your cancer's out, you're done treatment, I'll see you in 6 months. I thought this was going to be a really exciting moment that we'd hug and, I don't know, stars would shoot around. And very quickly I realized that that is not what I was being met with, that in that moment, all the confidence really that I'd watched women build up during their treatment was kind of washed away and replaced with whole new bad questions. Like what about tomorrow? Because when you're going through this, it's a very ardent process. You have doctors, nurses, radiologists, oncologists, kind of all rallying around my patients, and then it comes to an end and everyone was kind of left to their own devices, and there wasn't much of a support system where I'm from. So I felt compelled to create that for my patients, and that's kind of what the mission of Evolve Pink has been, to give women the tools to make that transition from treating into healing and beyond a little smoother, and to incorporate things into their life that are empowering and turn this, somewhat awful situation into the catalyst for something better afterwards. What about you, Melissa?
Thank you for sharing that and what you do. I just have to say, I give you kudos for not just being a great doctor, but for also offering all these other modalities, which are just so important. I wish I had more access to 7 years ago when I was going through treatment. So I think I just want to acknowledge that. I think what you're doing is great. So needed.
Thank you.
So my name is Melissa Berry. I'm the founder of Cancer Fashionista, and I'm a 7-year triple negative breast cancer survivor. There was a lot of breast cancer in my family, and when I was about 32, I was tested for the breast gene, and I basically did everything I could to not get breast cancer. I had my ovaries removed prophylactically. I always say, I was eating kale and doing yoga, and then I was still diagnosed at an early stage, stage 1, no node involvement, but I still had to undergo ACT chemotherapy as well as a bilateral mastectomy. And when I was going through my treatment, I'm a fashion and beauty publicist by trade, and not only was I a professional working woman, but I was going to photo shoots and dealing with, editors from Vogue magazine. And I thought, I don't need to look like a supermodel. I just want to look like Melissa. How am I going to not look like like a cancer patient? You want to look like as much like yourself as you can. And I was very discouraged because when I went online, I felt like a lot of the companies that sold the post-mastectomy bras looked very medicinal. I felt like anything to do with hair and wraps and wigs, it just looked like it was something you'd see in a doctor's office. And I ended up just looking for brands that I thought were cool. And Sonya, I wish your brand was around then, that's for sure. But I slowly started to put together a list of these brands that I felt were filling my needs as a cancer patient. And then I started a blog, and then it just took off from there, and it was really by accident. I was like, all right, maybe I should start doing Instagram. Maybe I should start going on Facebook. So today I'm proud to say I'm an advocate. I work with all kinds of nonprofit organizations, and I work with women in large groups and small groups to help them through their cancer journey and beyond, to really just look and feel your best.
That's great. Thanks so much for being here, Melissa. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. What an honor.
Of course. So I guess let's get started. And before we sort of get into the meat of this, how about we all maybe go around and just quickly just let us know where you're, you can see your name, but like your name, where you're from, and then where in your treatment you are, just so we kind of have an idea of who's in the group today. Anyone can just start off.
Okay, I'll start. I'm Trish Morris. I live in Lavallette, New Jersey. Dr. Jen is my doctor. I have one more treatment left. August 25th is my last treatment. So it's been a long road, and I'll tell you what, the team at Hunterdon Cancer Center couldn't be any better. They're amazing. And yeah, so I'm excited for the end of that, and then I still have the unknown ahead of me, right? Where it goes from here, but I'm ready for it. And yeah, so that's my story. Ready for my hair to come back in.
Anyone else?
How about you, Christina?
Okay, so I'm Christina. I'm from Annandale, New Jersey. Dr. Jen's my doctor as well. And I just last week I had my 3rd AC treatment, and then next week I'll have my 4th. And then I start my TPH. So it's going well though, which is good. I'm getting it done. And it's going faster than I thought it would, which makes me happy.
You look good, girl. And Christina is a newlywed.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, nice.
It's great. It's nice.
Yes, I'm Lisa. I think it sounds like I'm on the same regimen as you. I am from Westchester, we were just saying before we joined. Triple positive. I was diagnosed in April. So I started with AC, did the 4AC, and now doing THP. And tomorrow I think is the 4th week of tomorrow's tax call alone. And so then after that, because I was, diagnosed with COVID, I don't know if they would have done it differently otherwise, but then I'll have surgery after that, and probably radiation after that. I did have node involvement, and we'll see. So I feel like I've been at this a really long time, but there's still a lot ahead. So, it hasn't really flown by for me that much. But I'm past the halfway mark now of chemo, the first leg of it. So grateful for that.
Good.
Marianne?
Hi, Dr. Jen is my doctor, and I finished my last round of chemo 4 weeks ago. I have 2 more surgeries that I have to do before I complete that part of it. I developed some lymphedema in my right arm, my hand and forearm, so I got to deal with that now. I'll be married 24 years next week. So I'm just fighting, getting through this, and I enjoy all of these get-togethers because it really helps me out as a patient who's gone through this also during COVID, when it's a little hard to be around people because we're immunocompromised.
Who else is on here? Alexia?
Hey, ladies.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Alexia. I am a 2+ year stage 3 hormone receptor positive, HER2 negative breast cancer survivor. Had a really large 9+ centimeter tumor, 15 positive lymph nodes with not clear margins, and did bilateral mastectomies, chemo, radiation, the whole 9 yards. And I just joined in tonight to just be a support for all of the ladies that are currently fighting, and just cheering everybody on in the comments. And just happy to be here with you all. And I think it's so awesome that you ladies get to be in this space with one of your doctors and with Sonya and Melissa. And it's just so important to have this kind of support during your treatment process and your survival process. So nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us. Oh my
Yeah,
God, how gorgeous are you? First of all, I'm like, she's gorgeous. This is so, I love this. What a great group.
And Alexia is a doctor, and she's been on the front lines during COVID as well. So
Wow.
yeah,
Oh my goodness,
a lot of amazing
amazing.
women in this group. Yeah,
Royalty. I love it.
Where do you practice, Alexia?
I'm out on Long Island at Stony Brook, the Stony Brook University Medical Center.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Who's hiding on here? Who's that?
That would be me. My name is Debbie Rainey. My journey is a little different from a lot of the participants. I was diagnosed in 2013. I had a full radical mastectomy on the left. It came back in 2019 and invaded the chest wall. So now it's, it's metastatic. It's chest wall, spine, and shoulder. And I did both, and I'm in chemo treatment currently, but it's indefinite. So there's, because of the spread, we're not sure how long I'm going to be getting infusion, and then I guess I'll move on to oral medication. So I'm just here to try to learn as much as I can. I started taking biotin because of the side effects with my fingernails, and my fingernails were separating from my fingers, and the doctor recommended biotin, and I found even with the chemo, the biotin did start to grow my hair back. But so they just changed my medication because they found another little spot. They wanted to change it. So with that, I was just trying to learn as much as I can about any options if this new medicine causes the hair to start coming out again. It was just starting to grow back, and I was kind of hopeful. But then when they switched medication on me, I've only had one round on the new medication, and I'm just trying to learn as much as I can to try to maintain what's here.
Welcome, Debbie. Where are you from?
I'm from Long Island, New York.
Hey, two Long Islands.
Oh, I'm in Roosevelt. Yes.
All right, let's see. How about Josie?
Hi, so I'm
Hi.
here. I was diagnosed in January. Hi, Alexia. So good to see you. I'm hiding over here because I'm barely dressed. I'm very comfy in my bedroom.
Yes.
But just listening to everyone's story is just good to know that there's support out there. I had a VATS procedure, so I went off of chemo for 7 weeks, so my hair actually started to grow back. And now I'm back on chemo, so my hair is falling out again, and it's, you know, it's really difficult. And I'm here to find out different things that I can do for that. And I'm looking at the gorgeous ladies, you know, hair wrap, and I'm just so intrigued by that. So that's why I'm here. Nice to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you too.
Ew.
And the last person there, Amisha, that's my sister. So
Hi, Misha.
Hi.
So yeah, so before we get started, I just wanted to just note for you guys that a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about today, it can be found on either the StyleEsteem blog or on Melissa's blog on Cancer Fashionista. I'll share out all of our contact information at the end and just like where you can find our content. So don't necessarily worry too much about taking notes and like missing something, and just kind of, you know, be with us and just enjoy the group time, and all the like the product recommendations and the information will all be there at the end. So that being said, let's just get into it. Melissa, can you talk about some ways that you found yourself trying to bring beauty back into your life during treatment? Just any kind of like in any cosmetic ways or anything else that helped you feel beautiful during that time?
Absolutely. So I remember when I learned I was going to lose my hair, obviously the first thing I thought of was, well, I need to get a wig. I need to get a wig. And one thing that I didn't know, and this is really good information, and I don't know if you guys know this, there are a lot of health insurance companies that will cover a percentage, if not the whole thing. They call it a hair prosthetic. And I had no idea. Someone had mentioned this to me, and I called my health insurance company, and sure enough, they covered, I remember it was one hair prosthetic per family member per lifetime. So I was able to get 90% of my wig covered, and I went to it was through someone that I knew, but and if anyone wanted to check it out, I know it's in New Jersey, but there's a place here, and they do really beautiful, you know, they use real hair, but they're very expensive. So just for example, I know my wig was like $5,000, but I paid $500 for it because of medical insurance. So I would say like that's, you know, a very personal choice if you want to get a wig or not. I found that especially in the hot summer, I always say I felt like wearing a wig in the summer was like putting a ball gown on and like going to the supermarket. It's like, oh my God, because you have to put on, you know, you have to make sure that it's lined up properly, and it can feel really cumbersome. So I would say wigs are really great. I enjoyed them. Like I wore it to my college reunion, or if I was going on date night and I wanted to get dolled up. But to go to the store just to hang around the house, it was personally a little too much for me, especially when I was having tough chemo days. So some other alternative options, you're gonna laugh. One of my favorites, and I could, you know, share a link with Sonya, but you can kind of Google it even on Amazon. They have these baseball hats that have hair in the back, or they have bangs, you guys. They're awesome. Like I almost sometimes wish I had them now, because like what I like about it is it creates a hairline, and then it creates the illusion of having hair, and you literally just plop it on. Obviously, as I mentioned before, I wish that StyleEsteem Turban's head wraps were existed when I was going through treatment, but Sonya obviously illustrates so beautifully tonight how a head wrap can work and how easy it is, and you can match them to your outfit and like pop on some really great earrings. So that's another really, really great option. And then the best option is, you know, like how you guys are tonight. You don't have to wear anything at all. You can, you know, put on your favorite lipstick, a great pair of earrings, and just rock it. And I love that. I think it's very chic, and everyone's different. You know, some of us feel like, no, I don't want to go to work like that, or I don't want, but I personally, I think it's beautiful. But, you know, those are I would say all of the options. So just to recap, wig is like, you know, it could be for a fancy night or every day. Again, it's personal preference. You could do a baseball hat with the hair extensions. You can do nothing at all. You could do one of Sonya's gorgeous head wraps. Am I missing anything, Sonya?
No, and then top it off with a nice lipstick or a nice pair of earrings.
Exactly. So I feel like it also depends, and you guys know, it depends on what's happening that day. Like if you're just home and you're not feeling well, you don't want to put anything on your head. And then, you know, sometimes maybe you want to just do a little head wrap just to have a little something. So what have you guys been into lately? Maybe share with me like and we'll share with each other what's been working for you guys. Does anyone wear a wig, or do you prefer a wrap or nothing?
Can I,
I'm sorry.
there's a website that I use. It's called Love Me Hair, LUVME, and they sell human hair wigs, and they're very they're pretty comfortable for the most part. I also do the cap, not with the hair hanging down. I guess I got to order that one. But when I'm home, I don't wear anything, and like you said, if it's a special occasion, I might put something on. But for the most part, I'm either in my baseball cap with no hair, or I have ordered as backup from Love Me, and it's LUVME, and the quality of the hair is really nice. It's really, really soft, and it's human hair, and it's very, very, very affordable.
Wow, that is great to know.
Yeah.
Huh.
Thank you.
What about you, Trish?
I, you know, in the beginning, I did get a wig, and I felt that it was just too hot. I was diagnosed on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yeah.
We went into the warm weather. I live at the beach. I typically wear a baseball cap, but often I just take it off because it just feels so much better. Make sure I have sunblock. I was mostly concerned. There's a lot of young children in my community, and I was mostly concerned with them being taken aback or being frightened by, you know, seeing me without my hair. But you know what? They don't look at me any differently at all, which is just makes me feel so good. So when I go into
how beautiful you are. You're so beautiful.
But mostly it's just I go in the ocean in my bathing suit, and I'm fine with just being me, right?
Best.
Some days it's easier than others, but I pretty much just accepted the fact that this is the way it is. I'm starting to feel a little bit like coming back on my neck. I said to my husband, I said, I think maybe I can brush it with like an eyelash brush or something.
Oh, I love that. You should brush those baby hairs. Take care of them. I love that.
Yeah. So I just, the only time I've worn my wig was when I went to see my father in assisted living, because I don't want him to have that other thing to worry about. And it was comfortable and everything, but as soon as I got back in the car, in fact, I took it off at a traffic light. I was in the car with my daughter. I'm like, this is just too hot. So I don't know if anybody saw me do that next to me, but I was like, you know, but so that works for me.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, I think wigs are kind of an expected part of the journey, and so people often get them, and then they kind of figure out how much or how little they want to wear them. And for an occasion, it's a wonderful thing. I feel like that's a very common experience, but diagnosis and hair loss is so much about seasonality as well. It's all about like what time of year you get diagnosed. And I remember I started treatment in May of 2018, and I was working in the media space. And so I felt like, the hair was what was going to make me look presentable. So I felt obligated to wear a wig at work for like 8 hours straight. But I remember just going to and from work, I would be carrying my hair in a Ziploc bag in my purse because I was like, I can't do this. This is just, this is not something I'm going to put in the effort for.
Yeah, it needs to feel right with your lifestyle. And also one other option I didn't even bring up, I know some gals love, there's some synthetic, like cheap, like throwaway wigs that you can get in different colors and different haircuts. So you could be like a different woman for your husband every night. That's another webinar, but you can totally have fun. It just depends on your personality. It's sort of like fashion. It's like, are you the girl that likes to like wear a different like dress all the time, or do you like your favorite jeans, and like are you a t-shirt girl? So it's like you just find what works for you.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's all about having fun. So I guess another point, I think Trish met someone, I think it was Trish maybe, mentioning SPF. So one concern I think that's important to keep in mind is that you want to not just like dress for the seasons, but also care for yourself with the seasons in mind. So right now, I hope everyone is putting on SPF on their scalp, and basically you should be using an SPF moisturizer on your face anyhow. But now you can use it on your scalp. You can just kind of put it back as you're moisturizing your face, just do your scalp as well. And that should kind of shield you from any added sensitivity due to the chemo, just because extra protection is always better from the sun.
Absolutely. That is great advice. And something that I just learned from my trichologist. Don't feel bad if you don't know what a trichologist is, but a trichologist is an expert in the hair and scalp. And what I learned just recently is she said, if you're going to use anything on your head, like moisturizer or SPF, at night, try and take a shower, and you want to shampoo your scalp just like you would your hair, because you want to keep the hair follicles open and ready for regrowth. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that was another very common issue. I know I had that question too. It's like, oh, if I lose all my hair, do I still need to shampoo?
The massage is great for keeping it open. Yeah.
Right. So massaging is great for blood flow. It keeps your skin healthy. And that's super important for regrowth. And then also the issue of keeping your follicles open, that's important as well. But also, you don't always have to shampoo. I would say shampoo, but maybe just be mindful of not over shampooing, because your scalp, like we said, is quite sensitive at that point. So you want to do it enough so that you're being hygienic and you're keeping your scalp healthy, but then you don't want to strip it of the natural oils that your body creates to keep it supple and healthy. So just keep that in mind. And for days where you feel like you need a little bit of more cleaning, but you don't want to shampoo for whatever reason, you can just take a nice warm damp cloth and just kind of go gently on your head, like almost like you're at getting a manicure and they do that to your hands. You can do the same thing to your head, and it'll help you kind of feel a little bit more relaxed. And
Sonya, that's a nice idea. I never thought of that one.
Yeah, it's quite comforting. I really loved doing that back in the day.
You can put one in the refrigerator when it's really hot and then stick it on your head.
That too. The migraine caps, cold towels, all that stuff is pretty important. And then of course, I think we mentioned this last time, but if you're shampooing and you are more sensitive to dryness and skin cracking and stuff like that, you can always put a layer of coconut oil on top and massage that into your head before you go in the shower and do your shampoo. That way you're cleansing, but you're not necessarily stripping your body of the oils. And while you're doing that, just make sure the water temperature is not like extremely hot, because that can also be maybe a bit damaging.
So I've been using my face wash on my scalp.
That's what I do too. I just
run it right all the way over back to the back of my neck, and then whatever moisturizer I use, I do the same thing. It's mild. I was using baby shampoo like when I first lost all my hair, and it was kind of like building up there, if you will. It was almost like it was too much, which you wouldn't think with baby shampoo. But that's what I've been doing. I mean, different things work for different people, but it's just so much easier. Just put it on your face and just go, you know.
Absolutely. I think with the baby shampoo, what you might have been experiencing is, I think it has glycerin in it, and that can create like this other layer. If you don't have hair, it kind of sits on your skin and it doesn't go away. So that's probably what that was. Yeah. So going with your kind of just continuing your cleansing routine on your scalp is definitely a good option.
Okay.
Is there any role for really soft, gentle exfoliation? Or is that too rough?
I wouldn't, yeah, I almost wouldn't, you don't even need to, I don't think, especially, you know, many of us, when you're taking different kinds of medication, your skin, it can be sensitive, more sensitive anyway. So I would be, I'd rather err on the side of caution and do more gentle than exfoliating. But it's a good question for sure. Just to, you know, because you're thinking about probably keeping the hair follicles open, and what can you do to keep that
I've
going?
had patients ask that, like they almost feel like some of the hairs get stuck.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Sure.
go for it.
So yeah, on the AC, like by week 2 or 3, I think it was like 2.5. I had long hair. I'd already cut it, but you know, it was just coming out so much. And so I did the buzz, or I had my sister do the buzz. And then I really didn't like how it felt so spiky, and then the little spikes were falling out and everything. But I was afraid to shave it because A, I was afraid of getting cut and getting, you know, like an infection with the chemo. And B, I was afraid of irritating my scalp too much. But finally I just shaved it because I was so annoyed with like the little spiky. And it grows, you know, there's stuff that grows back, but it's patchy, you know, it's not like, so I sort of feel like right now, so I shaved it again and I feel it, you know, it's like fuzz, you know, it's not, but I guess that's one of my questions. I still have like 9 Taxols to go. So I don't expect it to be, plus the Herceptin, I mean, the Progetta, I think also has some hair loss. So I don't think it's going to be growing back anytime before I stop the medication. So I'm kind of inclined to keep shaving it until I'm done, so it doesn't get all like coming in patchy and spiky, and just wondering what people's thoughts are about when that part of the process. Because like I do have some that comes in, but it's like, you know.
If you don't mind me asking, so when you are out and about, do you go out without anything, or are you wearing a hat?
No, I'm covering it. I either like a scarf, bandana, baseball cap, something like that. If you have one of those, if I'm seeing anyone, if I have one of the ones with the hair too.
Yeah.
But you know, doing this during, honestly, like, and I bought a few wigs, and I'm kind of annoyed that I did because A, they're very uncomfortable and hot and all that. But you know, it's COVID. There's like no, like all I do is go to treatment and doctor's appointments at Sloan Kettering, where I go.
Right.
So like I don't have anyone to dress up for, you know, if I were going to work or something like that. But
yeah, you're right. It's a unique situation. It's not like, oh boy, I have like a cocktail party. What shall I do with my hair? Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, I would say it's all about comfort. As long as you're not feeling irritated from the shaving, I'd almost feel like I do the same thing, because otherwise, if you're gonna go with a bald look, you want to keep it clean and not like all spotty. Right. So I would say, as long as you're not getting any kind of weird irritation, and maybe ask your doctor too, like your whoever's administrating and giving you the chemo treatment, when they can guesstimate when your hair might start going back, because then around that time you might want to stop shaving it. That's what I would probably do. To let it kind of do its thing.
I think that's pretty good advice. And that actually brings another question to mind. It's like, you know, planning for that regrowth, when can you start doing certain things like letting your hair grow out rather than shaving it? But then also, what about, and Melissa, for you, my question is more towards like like the brow serums and lash serums and things like that. Like, when do you start doing that? And then Dr. Jen, if you could talk about like when is a good idea to start things like biotin, because I know supplements are it can be very tricky during treatment, but certain things can you bring them into the fold before treatment is complete just to kind of preempt the hair regrowth, or like what's your take on that? So either of you.
So I haven't found any issue with biotin and treatment, honestly.
Okay.
So a lot of my patients take them during and all throughout.
What is biotin? Is it a tablet or what is it?
It's a tablet. It's a vitamin, and it helps with nail, hair, growth, and skin.
Okay.
Dear Alexia, do you have anything to add to that, to biotin?
Yeah, I was gonna say you can also buy biotin in a oil form and use it topically. So I actually kept my brows through my whole treatment because I would put biotin and castor oil on them and a lash serum on them. So I can remember being in like physical therapy or getting my port access, and everybody would lean over and be like, "You still have eyebrows and eyelashes?" Because I know those babies. But I stopped doing it at the end of chemo because I thought like I was fine, and then they fell out like at the very like right before my last treatment, which to me was like, oh no, like I was completely fine with no hair, but when I had no eyelashes and no eyebrows, I was like, oh my God, now I look sick. It just was the weirdest thing to me. Like I was bald all summer and I just went with it. But I did biotin topically. Yeah. And then one thing I will add as far as what my oncologist specifically shared with me, like any supplements and things like that, she asked me to stop taking them 24 hours before chemo and not to take it 72 hours after the chemo dose, and then I could resume in between cycles.
The biotin too?
Yeah.
So a lot of my patients say the same thing, that they'll keep their eyelashes to the very end, and then it's super disappointing when they lose the lashes, but they're usually the first thing to come back too. They fall last and come back first. So
yes, I can definitely attest to that. So everyone is different. I remember thinking, oh my God, this is so awesome. My brows and my lashes. And then at the very end, I didn't lose my brows or my lashes. I lost a lot of my lashes and my brows got very thin. I would say I just like to, I like to do things more naturally, and I like to err on the side of caution. Personally, there are really great serums out there. And I think that it's a matter of trial and error, because like some work on some people and some don't. I think it's best to let nature take its course, and to complete your treatment, and let the eyelashes go, and the brows you could always fill in. You could always, pop on, go to, the drugstore and get the lashes that you just stick on. But I wouldn't get too aggressive with serums until you're done with treatment and you're off the medications, and your body has had a chance for those lashes and the brows to rejuvenate themselves a little bit. Because I really feel like those serums are meant for like when you have growth already and you want to sort of enhance it rather than starting from complete scratch.
Oh, that's a really good point. That, you're enhancing something that should already be there. So definitely want to be gentle with like the brand new baby hairs that are coming from all directions, probably. And speaking of hairs from all directions, when you go through chemo and hair loss, it usually happens that, it's not just the hair on your head or on your face, but it's hair in all kind of places that, that comes out and leaves your body. And often that each different areas are prone to different side effects. And that's something that you can kind of experience during treatment as different phases go by, and, the treatment gets, sort of compounding and more hair falls out. And so something I noticed is like, if it's, different areas that are sensitive, like particularly between your legs, like you might find that those areas feel sore and feel like they're bruising the same way that you might have felt on your scalp. Something that I found useful is like, using maybe an ice pack every now and then just to kind of alleviate that. And another area that I really didn't expect to have any issues, but was really hard for me, was my nose hairs falling out, and that created so much pain in my
Wow, I've never heard of that,
It was
Sonia.
so
Oh my
awful, and I
goodness.
think so. I already have like sinus issues, so I'm already sensitive in that area. So maybe it doesn't happen to everybody, but like sinus and nose things are a pretty common ailment, I think, and so it might be that you'll experience this. And so something that I found really useful was it's down there. I don't have it next to me, but using this organic version of a Vaseline. And actually, let me just grab it because I love the packaging.
Wow, this is why it's so great to, for us to come together as a group, because this is like the stuff that your doctor you wouldn't know unless you touch someone.
None taken. That's why I do these talks.
So this is the packaging of this Vaseline. I wanted something that was similar to Vaseline but not petroleum jelly, because it just didn't seem like that was the most natural option. And so I love this because instead of like a Vaseline which comes in a tub, this comes in a tube, and you can just kind of put a little bit onto the edge of a Q-tip and coat the inside of your nostril, and do that pretty much as often, or however you need it, as needed. So this one is great because it has all kind of natural things, including sunflower oil and beeswax and other sort of really good things from Mother Nature. So using this, if you're experiencing those symptoms in your nose, like the cracking or the dryness, use a nice version of Vaseline. This one is linked in our products list. And also you can use a gentle saline spray like twice a day just to kind of clean out any kind of like dust or buildup that's happening that might be irritating your nose. So yeah, those are a few things that I wish I particularly knew ahead of time, because they caused a lot of issues on my end. Does anyone have any questions about that, or any experiences of
What's
your
the
own?
name of the product, Sonia?
So this one is called Earth Mama. And I actually just created a little product list through Amazon. It's linked in our Instagram profile. If you click through and get anything from our affiliate links, that will go directly to support our 1-for-1 donation program. So if you are interested in browsing things, or just want an idea of like what different people have used, you can go on there and just take a look. And if you see something, or if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. But yeah, this one was kind of a lifesaver personally.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. I never knew. Who knew? Chemo does some crazy stuff. That's all I can say. It
really does. Yeah.
There are solutions, and it's just a matter of like sharing and comparing notes among ourselves, and making it work and just getting through it.
Yeah, I think Dr. Alexia, I think you've mentioned aloe vera as something that can help with scalp sensitivity during chemo, right? Can you talk about that a bit?
So fresh aloe vera gel from the aloe leaf, like you could just get one big piece of leaf if you don't want to care for a whole plant, and you can just take the gel of the aloe vera, you can put it on your skin and your scalp. You can use it to moisturize your hair. It has antibacterial properties, anti-inflammatory properties. It can be a little bit of soothing for like pain, so we use it on burns and other things like that as well. So I used it for my scalp, and I would keep the leaf in the refrigerator so that it would last longer, and so that the gel was cool, because when my hair came out, and I'm sure you all have experienced this too, my scalp was incredibly painful and tender, and I would know exactly where my hair was going to fall out, because it would be painful before the hair would come out. And that scalp sensitivity lasted for quite some time once I was pretty much bald. So I would use the aloe vera gel to help soothe my scalp.
Walmart by us is carrying that right now, lady from Flemington. My patient walked in with a bunch of leaves the other day for exactly that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Love it.
Wish I knew all of this. These are
I
great
know.
tips.
It's so funny. A friend used to UPS me the aloe vera leaves wrapped in foil and packed in ice like overnight from
my
a
God.
farmer's market because
What do you
I
have?
just couldn't find it out here.
Yeah,
So,
what's
but if
that?
you can find a farmer's market or like a meat farms or a Fairway, or if there's like a fruit stand near you, you might be able to find some aloe vera plants
Amazing.
there.
I got my aloe vera plant from Lowe's, and Home Depot have them.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
And then I guess if you have a hard time finding the plant itself, you could always maybe get like a bottle of organic aloe vera gel. I know Amazon has a bunch of options there. And maybe keep that in the fridge, and that'll be kind of the cool version of the leaf if you have a hard time getting out, or just stores near you aren't carrying it.
That's a
kind
great
of
idea. I keep aloe
Yeah.
vera in the fridge anyway because I'm still collecting in the kitchen. I'm always burning myself. So.
yeah, it's a pretty handy item to have.
Yeah.
Well, does anyone have any questions? Anything we haven't addressed that either you want us to talk about, or things from your own experience that you'd want to share with the group?
Is there a pug on?
Yeah, who has a dog?
Sounds like my pug.
That's my dog. Let me see if I can
That's
turn the
hysterical.
camera.
I'm like, what is that?
Next time we'll have to bring all of our pets on.
Yeah, right.
Mine is laying next to me on my bed. She sneaks in here halfway through the, you want to see her? Let's see if I
Yes.
can. There's Lucy.
Aw. Hi, Lucy.
Aww.
So
She
cute.
pushes her way in.
Josie, did you have a question, or I see
No,
your
it was
hand is
just-
raised?
No, I think I hit that by accident.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I guess we're almost at 8:30. So unless anyone has any questions, I guess I've gone through whatever was on my mind. I don't know. Is there anything else that you'd want to mention, Melissa? Maybe words of encouragement for people who are kind of in that space between diagnosis and regrowth, and kind of what to
Absolutely. I mean,
keep in
I would
mind?
say like what I would love to tell myself, if I can go back in time, is just to be patient, because like when you're in the middle of this, you feel like it's lasting forever, but then it goes so fast. And once you are through your chemotherapy treatment, whatever your treatment you're going through right now that has caused the hair loss, once your hair starts to grow back, it starts to grow back. Like you'll see every couple of weeks, it'll be, you'll see a difference. And then you'll know when you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I think I can go for a trim. So it's baby steps, but I would say just be patient with yourself and love yourself the way you are today. You guys are all so beautiful. You really, really are. Like, and I'm so proud that you don't even feel like you need the wig and you don't need all this stuff. Like it's a nice to have, and sometimes it's nice to just switch it up. But I love to see that you're just all good with how you are. I think that's awesome. Well,
Have you all seen the scene from Sex and the City when Samantha's giving the speech and she's going through chemo? Have you all seen that?
Yes.
I'm going to find it and send it to you. It was on the other night. There was a Sex and the City marathon. I felt like it was Christmas. And she's giving the speech and she's sweating up there and she just takes it off. And then all the women she's at a breast cancer something. And all the women start standing up and taking it off. And I'm watching this and I'm like, oh, this is so great. My husband's like, you need to get a grip. But it's such an empowering moment. Like women just owned where they were in that space of their time. And it's just a beautiful, I think, TV moment.
I think that's
just kind of own where you are. And if you feel like putting a head wrap on, if you feel like putting a wig on, if you feel like putting the hat with the hair, or nothing. It's whatever like works for you, and do it for you. Don't do it for anybody else. That's what I would say.
That is it.
Yeah, I love it. Well, with that, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. This is such a nice catch up, and we'll be here same place, same time next week. We'll be joined by Cancer Fashionista. Sorry, not Cancer Fashionista. My Cancer Chic. I'm like, don't go anywhere, Melissa. Just stay right here with us. But no, thank you guys for being here. And we will see you here next week. If you have any questions in the meantime that you want us to cover, if you want to send them to me, that's fine. But otherwise, hopefully, we'll see you all here next week. All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for having me, and love you guys. Hope I see you out there.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Very
Bye.
informative.
Good night, ladies.
Good
Bye,
night.
Alexia. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
That's the link to the Sex and the City if you want.
Yeah, definitely in that category of things that I couldn't relate to before, but now it's like emotional to watch.
Emotional.
Yeah.
Good night, Sonya.
All right. Good night.
You look
See you.
beautiful.
Thank you. You too, as always. Always fresh faced. I love it.
Bye, sweetie.
All right. Bye.